Don't complain about a world you won't attempt to change. Anderson-Payne, and you're listening to the BAP Project on Art Beats Lyrics Radio, ablradio.com. You know what I do. I always tell you, I am the one who tells you, don't complain about a world you won't attempt to change. Now, I hope you've been thinking about that and figuring out your way of making changes. Where's your spot? Every one of us, we are salt. We have a responsibility to find some kind of way to make a positive change. And the way that I choose, the way that I believe I'm led to do it is providing information. That's what I do. I provide information, and hopefully, I'm going to get rid of the hopefully. I am positive that information allows you the choices or the tools to make the proper choices to make better changes. Well, you know what, folks? I am excited about this show. I wonder why do people say that when in reality, we know we're really excited about every one of them. I don't know what I guess it's just some kind of routine or something. But I'm really excited about today, like I'm going to be excited about the ones that come. Listen, I am talking to a special guest on today. You know, you've heard my voice week after week after week, and I hope that is a good thing. But there are also other people that I believe God places on the earth to kind of partner with us in different areas to make the changes and make the positive impact that we have to make. And today I'm excited. I'm speaking to a young lady who is also like me, an author who's making a mark by leaving information that will long outlive her. That's what I think when you're an author or when you're a musician or whatever it is, if you find a way to leave information that will long outlive you. So I'm excited today. I'm speaking to Miss Shavonda McCaleb, who is the author of she's got a great new book coming out called Warning Signs, The Relationship Guide. So we're really going to get into some stuff about her book, and I'm excited about the information that's going to come to you today. Help me welcome Miss Shavonda McCaleb. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate it.
Great. Listen, breathe. I'm really excited to have you here.
Thank you.
I am, and I am sure that we're going to get into some things that are just going to make a difference in the lives of people.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here to do.
Absolutely. We're here to positively impact people's lives.
There we go. Well, listen, before I get to this now, this is your latest book, and I know those that are looking, I'm sure we've got all kind of images and everything going on. But this is the latest book, Warning Signs. But before we do that, wait a minute. Now, this isn't your only book.
No, I have 3 other books that's been published. My first book came out in 2010 called He Meant It For My Good. It's a book of encouragement. My second book is a 31-day devotional. And my third book is a children's book actually dedicated to my daughter. The children's book is called If It Can Be Done, We Can Do It. And it's a book about children who deals with all type of adversity, physical ailments, whatever. My daughter, she's 18, she's hearing impaired. So the book actually, it's pretty much to encourage children who deals with, being deaf, having some type of ailment, some type of disease, handicap, disability. So that's what it's about.
Okay. So then it reaches in different areas.
It does.
Well, cool. That's exciting. You're hitting several different areas. But here today we're going to get into this new book that you have out, Warning Signs. Warning Signs, Relationship Guides. Tell me now, why did you use that particular topic? My sister and I, my sister lives in California. That's where I'm from. We're having a private conversation, and that private conversation became now public information. And we were talking about relationships, past, present, future. And she was saying,
you need to write a book about warning signs. And I was like, you think? She said, yeah, girl, we can talk about this sign, that sign, this sign, that sign. And I said, okay, well, why don't we do it together? But, my sister, she got busy, so I ended up putting pen to paper, and 6 months later, I have the book Warning Signs. And so what I did, Brian, was I took the everyday road signs that we see, and I turned them into a relationship guide.
I noticed that. Now, the warning signs, what are we warning about?
Well, first of all, if we were paying attention, we wouldn't need warning signs. A lot of times what we do is we don't pay attention as people. For example, the flag man, he's standing in the middle of the road and he's waving that flag and he's trying to what? He's trying to warn us, he's trying to get our attention. But if we don't pay attention to the flag man, we're going to run into a ditch, we're going to run into a pothole, we're going to hit some type of construction worker or a fire hydrant, we're going to do something. So if we were paying attention to the flag man, we wouldn't end up in certain places that we end up in. Bad relationships, in different, how can I say this and be nice? Friendships, not just relationships, but even working relationships, friendships, even with family, those relationships. But we have to pay attention to the signs. And so I provided a tool and I put it on the bottom shelf where everybody can get it. So, this book would definitely encourage you to actually pay closer attention to what's happening in your life and the relationships that you have.
We're going to get into some of the principles in the book. I have, I told you earlier, I did my Oprah thing, so I got in there. I was reading, and we're going to get into some of the details. But before we do that, well, first of all, let me stop right there and say thanks for just writing it. And I'm parking parenthetically saying to the audience that's listening, it's not just me, it's not just you, it's not just a very few of us that have books and information inside of us. There are lots of people, there are tons of people that have great information and wisdom that you've learned through certain experiences inside of you, and you're encouraged. The people are pushed to write books, except what happens is we tend to be a little too lazy, and then that's a shame because people end up dying with wealth of information.
Absolutely.
Stuff that's supposed to get out,
right?
That doesn't come out. So first, let me just say thanks for being diligent. That's for real. That's not me.
I believe you. Yeah, thank you.
That's
thank
for real.
you.
Because people benefit from our experiences.
I agree.
I really believe that.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. I know the book, when we write them, we want the entire world to get them. Who would you say the book is for?
The world.
We want all 6 billion of y'all.
Please, y'all, buy the book. Thank you very much. But actually, it's for the average person. I'm talking about. The book is actually, when I wrote the book, Brian, I literally put it on the bottom shelf. I didn't make it complicated.
You really didn't.
It's simple, but the Bible said it takes the foolish things and the simple things, and sometimes you have to put it there in order for people to get it. But I would say this book from 18 on up, this book would help them.
Okay.
18 on up, I believe it'll help them. Just dealing with relationships, period. How you deal with your siblings, how you deal with your mate. It'll help them.
I was going to ask, the instruction that you gave, which of course, like I said, we are going to get into. What do you feel gave you the stamp to write that? What equipped you to be able to say, hey, y'all, listen, these are some things that you need to be aware of?
Well, life was my greatest teacher. Life is the reason I wrote this book.
Now, I'm getting ready to dig into that,
come
right?
on now, I'm ready. I'm warming up, y'all. Just stick with me. Life was my greatest teacher. Life has taught me things that Duke University couldn't teach me. Howard University wouldn't teach me. Life was my greatest teacher.
How did it do that?
Well, first of all, when I didn't listen to my mama, life taught me lessons that I didn't pay attention to when I was younger. My mom said when I was 18, she said, Vonda, my middle name is Gail. She said, Vonda Gail, don't don't get married at 18. I was like, Mama, I love him. I love him, Mama. And guess what? I got married at 18 and everything wasn't as peachy as I thought it would have been because I didn't pay attention to the warning signs that I was seeing before we said I do. Not saying everything was bad, but there were warning signs there that I did not adhere to. My first warning sign was my mother. We talking about intuition, something about the mamas, they know. You can ask my son. I have an 18-year-old daughter. My son's 21. And my son, I always say, Jonathan, I said, Mama what? Mama knows. I said, exactly. Mama knows. So the book is based on, my life experiences and the warning signs that I did not pay attention to. I'm just trying to help someone or prevent someone from making the same mistakes that I made.
Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to discuss, I'll allow you to get into, certain practical details of what that thing is so you all identify with that. But we're not going to do it yet. Going to give you a second break for a minute and give you just a little bit of time so you can catch your breath because we get down into it, all right? Hey, you know what you're doing? You're listening to Brian Anderson-Payne. This is the BAP Project on Art Beats Lyrics Radio, ablradio.com. And you're back with Brian Anderson-Payne and the BAP Project on Art Beats Lyrics Radio, ablradio.com. I'm here with my special guest on today, Miss Shavonda McCaleb, who is the author of the new book, Warning Signs, The Relationship Guide. Shavonda, now, I like I told you, I jumped into it, and now you've got a lot of chapters. Although they're easy to read, they're not very long chapters, so it's something that you can grab on the plane and go with it.
That's right.
Here's my question: what is? I know you love the entire book because it's your baby, but what's your favorite chapters, and why would you say that?
I have several. Let's start with eggs. Put all of them in my basket. Trusting too soon. And so, in the beginning of any relationships, friendships, boyfriend, girlfriends, you meet somebody, you trust too soon. And you just want to just give them all, tell them all where you work, when's your birthday, what you ate today, what route you take to work. And so a lot of times what we do in relationships, Brian, is that we end up giving too much of us too soon. And we should take our time. We shouldn't just rush into something, because if we rush into it, what's going to happen is one day, the relationship is going along just fine. We're happy. We're skipping through lilies in the field, and then we hit a bump in the road, and then we don't know how to handle that bump, and then we find ourselves on a divided highway, and then we go in our separate directions, and then all of a sudden you're going on by your business. And I'm here saying, oh my God, I'm lost. I'm in love. He moved on with Sally. What am I going to do? And I look down in my basket and I don't have any eggs left. You know why? Because I've given them all away. I've given them all to you. So that's what happens when we trust too soon in the beginning of a relationship.
I'm sure that's an issue that not just women have. When his heart is really, if he really likes her, if it's not just one of those, she looking good. Yeah, the question is this, though: how do you pull that back? How do you slow that down while being authentic to who you are? Because the reason I say that is because I think a lot of times, I have this belief that when people meet each other, I don't think we really meet each other. I think we meet our representatives, and the truth is that we need to be honest, but how do we pull that back and still be authentic?
We have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to the signs. And one thing we definitely have to do is we have to be who we are. We have to be who we are. I was always taught that whatever's in the house gonna peep out the window after a while. So you continue to be who you are, authentic, and keep, being Brian. I'm gonna keep being Shavonda. But in the end, the mask, all those layers, they're gonna come off, and that real person gonna peep out that window. And that's the person you pay attention to. That's the person that you're gonna learn your lessons from. That's the person that's gonna show you the warning signs to actually pay attention and to keen into.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, good. Now, give me some more. What's another one of your favorite chapters?
Oh, here's one. This may be a little controversial. Restricted area. Don't ask, don't tell. You know that rule. Don't ask, don't tell. Now, in the beginning, we open, my cell phone is on the table. Honey, grab my cell phone. It's ringing. Honey, your text message is going off. And then all of a sudden, things begin to shift. They change. And all of a sudden, you're going in the bathroom with your cell phone and you got a lock on your phone. Why is there a restricted area in our relationship now? Why is there a don't ask, don't tell? Those are the signs you pay attention to. They may be little subtle signs, but it's the small foxes, the Bible says, that destroys the vine. So you have to pay attention to the small signs. Restricted area, do not enter. Don't ask, don't tell. Why all of a sudden the signs? Why all the restriction signs? Why?
Are those signs, are those deal breakers, or are they instructions on how to shift it, or what do we do with those?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's a deal breaker, but each individual, each relationship is different. I would say communication is the biggest thing. You have to be able to communicate openly and honestly with the person you're involved with, or even your friends. You have to be honest. You can't lead them down a path and then knowing that they don't know the totality of who you are or what you're about. So you have to be honest. You have to be able to communicate. And if you're in a relationship and you can't be open and honest with that person, you're just wasting that person's time.
It's so... I'm sitting here, Marcus, I don't know about you, but I'm sitting here really glad. I've been married 16 years, and I'm thinking about the people that are in the dating game now. That is the scariest thought in the world,
honey,
to me.
Hello. Mic check. Listen, I'm single, and I'm not advertising, but I promise you, being single is overrated. But that dating stuff is scary.
Oh my gosh.
That stuff is literally, because honey, it's too many layers. Because during people's QT, that's that quiet time I talk about, the hair come off, the eyelashes come off, they peel them
literally.
different. See what I'm saying? You ain't have to go there. See, you didn't have to go there. But,
it's a different day.
It's a different day. So all these layers begin to, start coming off. It's like, well, who are you? Yeah. Who are you? So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's something that I think I admire those who do it well today. So that's why, that's another reason why you having this book is really good, because I would think if I had to go through that today, I would want all of the helpful advice available, because, my access is just TV and stuff like that, and it's like, you got different shows like what is the Mary Jane show or whatever. It's like, man, is that what it's like
Mary
out
Jane.
there? Oh my gosh! Ooh. Thank you that I'm on the inside, Jesus.
Well, Jesus, I'm on the outside. I would like to come in, please, and thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
It's Mont Diesel for the BAP listeners, producer, engineer show. Shavonda, do you think it's more so time will tell versus like warning signs of who people will end up eventually being when those layers that you speak about are peeled back and people are really who they are? Would it be, are there really warning signs, or should we just go with like time, just let it happen? Or, what are some of the warning signs like for people that, like you were just speaking about going into the bathroom? Because I had a situation, a old relationship. I'm married now, happily, and my girlfriend at the time would accuse me of something just because I was going into the bathroom with my phone. I wasn't talking to anyone. I just had my phone.
Why'd you have your phone though? That's her question.
Because it's my, and I understood her question, but at some point it's like, is that a warning sign?
Marcus,
I guess that's what I'm trying to get.
That's a big fat warning sign. Absolutely, yes. Listen, if you are not taking your cell phone in the bathroom before, and all of a sudden you're taking it in the bathroom, of course, that's a big warning sign for a woman. Because guess what? If women go and they start buying sexy lingerie and undergarments and all that stuff, you're going to wonder, well, why are you buying that? That automatically you're going to think, well, what, you going to work like that? So a man going into the restroom with his cell phone, ding, 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 that's a warning sign. Well, he didn't used to do that. Why is he doing that now? And here you're saying, Marcus, well, I just took it in the bathroom. But why?
Well, I understand if it's something new, that the man is doing, I can understand that part. But if it's just something that he does, like that's just something I did because I always had my phone in my pocket, I would understand why you're saying that's a warning sign. However, with me, it wasn't a warning sign. It was just something I did, but I guess she perceived it to be a warning sign.
And I just want you to know that it works both ways, women and men. If a woman go in the bathroom with her cell phone and, I'm just talking to my girls, okay, it could send off the wrong message to the man that's involved. But with what you said, did you communicate that with her?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did she understand then? Because communication
that's why
is
we're
the
not
key.
together now.
All right, security, okay.
Well, it's almost, now you did say in one of the chapters, and not to say this was the issue there, but a lot of times people are responding based off yesterday's issues.
Yes.
And so now,
speak about it.
So now the moment that something resembles something that they came from, it's like, well, I'm not ever going through that again. He
And
might
I think that
just
was my situation. Yeah, definitely.
I'm guilty. I was married for 10 and a half years to a pastor. And when we went through our separation and divorce, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. This ain't gonna happen. I don't play hit. I don't play wrestle. I don't. And that has to do with what happened in my marriage. So if we don't deal with these issues after they happen or while they're happening, and we try to jump into another relationship, we're gonna mess up that relationship. That is not going to be a healthy relationship. That is going to be a relationship full of warning signs and a lot of fussing and cussing and fighting. It's not going to be a healthy relationship.
Which I think one of the wonderful things that I noticed about, I believe it was chapter 3, you have a survey that the reader can read, and there are certain questions that you ask yourself to know, am I ready to go into a relationship again?
That's right.
Because, it is, I believe, it is possible that sometimes we carry smoke from the last fire.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
I think that's really cool. Did you want to hit some of those?
Well, one question is, when you think of your ex, are you still angry? Do you regret the time you spent? Do you regret the time you all spent together? Or I have forgiven and ready to move on. So by the time you go through this survey, you're going to realize whether or not, A, you are ready to love again. Congratulations. B, work on your unresolved issues and proceed with caution. You are making progress. And C, you are not ready. Be encouraged and just keep working to achieve your success. So, this is a wonderful, wonderful survey. I took the survey and I realized I am now ready to love again.
I believe there's so much wonderful information in here, and I know we've got a break here. But Shavonda, can you tell us where can people get this book at?
Absolutely, you can actually log on to my website, ShavondaMcCaleb.com. That's ShavondaMcCaleb.com, or you can even go to WarningSignsTheBook.com.
Absolutely. I think it's something that will be really beneficial. And I'm not just saying that, how people just talk. I'm not just saying that. I've actually gone through here and said, wow, I thank God that I don't need it personally. But for everybody that does, let's make sure that it's available. Hey, let's take a break. You're listening to Brian Anderson-Payne, and this is the BAP Project on Art Beats Lyrics Radio, ABLradio.com. And you're back with Brian Anderson-Payne and the BAP Project on Art Beats Lyrics Radio, ABLradio.com. And I'm here with my special guest, Shavonda McCaleb. And I really want to thank you, Shavonda, for as I said, writing the book, coming in today.
Thank you.
There's too much information to get in a half-hour program. So here's what I got to do. I got to know if I can get you to come back at a later time again.
Absolutely. Well. Consider it done. Maybe we got to do a little panel or something.
How about it? I'm open for all of that.
Let's do it.
If it makes people better, then that's what we do.
Absolutely. That's what we're about, encouraging and positively impacting people's lives.
One more time, will you tell us where people can find the book?
Absolutely. You can log on to WarningSignsTheBook.com or my personal website, ShavondaMcCaleb.com.
When I tell you her website, I'm telling you, that site is incredible. So check it out. It'll be a good thing for you. Hey, and as always, I want you to visit me over at brianandersonpayne.com. And not only that, guys, but go to the YouTube page, subscribe to the BAP Project, the YouTube page, because that way you'll always catch the videos and all of the exciting things that we have coming up in days that not too far off, very close. And as I always say, if you're hanging out on Sunday mornings, we would love to see you somewhere around 10 o'clock. A little big spot over in Lithonia right now, 1943 South Stone Mountain, Lithonia Road, Lithonia, Georgia, 30058 at Universal Church of Truth, right about 10 o'clock. We do it from about 10 to 12, and it's really casual. However, it's heavy and word-based and all that. So you don't have to, it's not the starchy kind of thing, but hey, we like to honor God with it. Again, you've been listening to Brian Anderson-Payne and the BAP Project, and I appreciate you so much right here from ABL Radio, where we are on the corner of Martin Luther King and Peachtree. We downtown Atlanta, downtown in the A. Hey, we'll see you on next week, all right? Want you to have a great week. Signing off.